Dunkley tomorrow. It's obviously going to be about cost of living, Campbell. You and I talk about it all the time. This week it was revealed that voters actually prioritise lowering the price of their power bill over the source of their electricity. Now, Chris Bowen wouldn't be happy to hear that, but this is from a Redbridge poll. Supports weakening for renewables. Do you think Labor, and they're not going to do it with Chris Bowen, but they've got to start listening to people that, yes, we want to consider nuclear. Yes, we want to have all the coal and gas that we've got used properly and sensibly. I mean, we can't just sit around going, OK, the whole answer to this is wind and solar.
Well, look, it's interesting, that poll, which actually shows very strong desire by the community to see cheaper power before, environmental concerns, and that is showing the needle's moved. We also saw that other poll in recent days suggesting that people were now strongly backing nuclear, and most interestingly, it was the young who were getting behind it. There's a young fellow, I think he's been on Sky on a few occasions, William Shackle, who's been quite prominent, and he's a young bloke in his late teens. So, the needle's moving, and I think Australians are working out that the cost of net zero is probably something they don't want to bear, and they're looking for people to come up with new ideas. So I think the Coalition are right to be putting forward the nuclear option, and I think that Chris Bowen and indeed the Prime Minister are looking increasingly isolated and silly when they just keep saying, perhaps clinging to their university sort of zealotry of 40 plus years ago. They're saying, they're hanging on to their sort of anti-nuke sort of stance from all those years ago, and they're looking silly. So that's where this is going. And I think there is a real opportunity for, the state Liberal or Liberal National Party coalitions to actually stand up and say, look, this net zero ain't worth the cost, and campaign on that. Sadly, they're not in step, I think, with where the federal parties are seeing the wind blowing.